What up, Fantasizers? Thank you for joining me for the next episode of Fanta-Sci. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I filmed a video and posted it, but last weekend was my birthday and I was way too busy getting lit with my bitches at this 80s club that we like. I just wanted to share with you guys before we go into bookish topics. My friend, coworker slash friend, got me this awesome Iron Giant mug for my birthday, which was probably the best gift that I got. So shout out to my girl Monica and hooking it up with the Iron Giant mug that makes me want to drink beer, and I don't even like beer. Back on topic. I guess this video is going to be a September recap of what I've been doing book-wise for the month of September. It's been a very frustrating month of September as far as books are concerned, because I decided with a couple days left in August that I was going to pick up this series by the name of Red Queen. So I have this online book buddy, bestie. He's my bestie book buddy, and from now on we're going to refer to him as Triple B. Triple B and I were having a discussion about what we wanted to read next, and we settled on Red Queen. I walked by it in Barnes & Noble, thought it looked interesting, read the back, thought maybe, it might sound a little cliche, but it is a New York Times bestseller, so why the hell not? Let's read Red Queen. Sounds like a blast. Here's the first book, Red Queen, by Victoria Aveyard. As you can see, the #1 New York Times bestseller, Red Queen. The cover is beautiful, looks like a lot of fun, sounds like a lot of fun. It is a political fantasy YA novel. I love every one that I've ever read. For the most part, I've never read a bad one. So, yeah, here we go. All about this. The first one, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it fell short. But again, we have 3 more books to go, so, it's got to get better, right? We have our main character, Mare Barrow. She's our protagonist. She starts out in the slums. She lives in the slums. She's poor. She kind of pickpockets for a living. This is in a world where there's red-blooded people and there's silver-blooded people, right? Red-blooded people are kind of like the slaves to the silver-blooded people, because the silver-blooded people have magical powers, right? They have abilities beyond regular human abilities. So Mare is a red, and she's a slave, and her family and all of her friends are slaves, and so she ends up in the royal castle, somehow falls into a magnetic force field in the castle and unleashes this wonderful, crazy lightning power that she's held dormant her whole entire life. So now, as of now, Mare Barrow is the first red-blooded person with abilities. Obviously, the Silvers don't like this idea, so they try to cover it up, which leads to a whole mess of craziness that ensues in book 1. We also have the character of Maven, who is the brother to the heir of the royal castle. The heir to the royal castle is Cal, who ends up being kind of Mare's friend throughout the series. I'm sure that the recap I'm giving you sounds super interesting. No. But then we go on to Glass Sword. Triple B decided to send me Glass Sword after we read Red Queen, because there was so much going on and so many loose ends that needed to be tied up. We just decided, let's just keep going, So Glass Sword, again, beautiful. Kneel or bleed. Sounds serious. Yeah. Still, nothing's going on. At this point, Maven is turned into a villain. We find out all types of things about him. And Maven has the ability to be just a super villain. He's got this mother who is a whisperer. She has the ability to kind of go into your head and kind of mess with your brain. She can make you think things that are not true or do things that you don't want to do by controlling your mind. And she has controlled Maven's mind and kind of messed with his brain his whole entire life. And he has the ability to just be super effed up. And he doesn't really do anything that crazy, he's going around and he's trying to maintain the throne at this point, but is having a hard time. He has this weird, love thing going on for Mare, so even though he wants to destroy her, at the same time he wants to save her, and it's just very strange, and none of it makes a lot of sense. We then went on to read King's Cage, which, me being me and all the loose ends that need to get tied up, I was like, this has got to get better. There's a reason this is a New York Times bestseller. So I went to the store and I bought King's Cage. All will burn. Let's do this. This book is 512 pages long. Nothing happened until page 400. If it was from page 400 to 512, it would have been a better book. Super boring. Nothing happened. She was kidnapped from page 1 to page 400, and he wasn't doing anything to her. He wasn't even torturing her. He wasn't forcing her to do anything she didn't want to do. She was being treated like royalty, and she had silent stone manacles on that were taking her abilities away, and she couldn't even use her lightning. So the coolest part about Mary Barrow was completely taken away for the first 400 pages of the book, and it was just trash. I was getting super upset at this point, right? I don't even have the last book, Warstorm, because this is what happened, right? I was like, I'm not paying for this. I am not paying for this book, this gigantic book that's like now, and we're getting into like the 600s. I went and I got it from the library, right? So I read it. It took me forever because the book sucked. I didn't want to read it anymore. I was like 2 days late returning it, right? So I go back to the library and I give it to the guy, and he's like, well, you owe me like 25 cents. And I was like, that's cool. Here's your change. I need to rent it out again because I need to do this video slamming this series and how horrible it was. He was like, well, you can't because there's a hold on the book and somebody else is waiting for you to return it. And I was like, call them right now. Tell them not to get this book. It is worthless. It is a waste of their time. Trust me that they're going to thank you in the end if you call them right now and tell them that it is not worth renting. Anyways, the series ended. Nothing was solved. You know, at the end of the book, there was a new sort of group of villains that they're fighting against, and there's a big battle, and like I've been waiting for this battle. I was excited about it. You know, we get to finally see something happen. There was no outcome. They literally get scared and sail away, and there's no ending. There was no ending. It was horrifying. I was like just completely shocked that I just read thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of this series, Red Queen, and we didn't get anywhere. We didn't get anything. Nothing interesting happened, and I'm super frustrated. I usually don't bash series like this. Like I don't feel like I've ever felt this strongly about how bad a series was. There was just nothing good, nothing exciting. The characters were just trash, and I just can't believe that I spent the first 3 weeks of my birthday month, Virgo season, reading Red Queen. Please, if you're thinking about reading Red Queen, I would seriously just consider reading the synopsis, honestly. Moving on. After Red Queen, I needed something that was going to fill my heart with happiness and love and excitement. So, of course, I picked up The Beast. This is the 15th book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I've read every single Black Dagger Brotherhood book there is. The Beast, a weird thing happened. There's a book after The Beast called The Chosen, and I read The Chosen. I didn't know that The Beast came out. I missed one, which is just strange. I mean, I guess 15 books in, it's kind of hard to keep track. That's what I'm telling myself because I feel like a loser. We are revisiting Rage and Mary's story. Rage and Mary first appeared in book 2, which I read eons ago, and I'm super excited that I get to revisit Rage and Mary. I am very happy. My heart is full of love and happiness right now, and I'm only, a little bit more than halfway through the book. My girl, J.R. Ward, pulled through. I love her writing. She writes like she's like texting her friends in 2018. You know, she uses like a BTW and LOL in her writing style, and it's just awesome. I love this world, and I love these characters, and I'm very, very excited to be reading The Beast. So this was kind of to get my mind off of all of the Red Queen craziness, and it is completely doing the job. Mwah. Last but not least, before September ends, I am going to be rereading this book that I already read last year, The Blade Itself, because Triple B decided that he was going to finally read it a year later. And he was like, wow, this book rocked, and we need to read the rest of the series. So, considering I read it a year ago and I don't remember all the specific details about it, I'm going to reread The Blade Itself. Joe Abercrombie created a world where there's a lot of war. It's an adult high fantasy series that is amazing. We get 6 viewpoints of 6 different characters from very different backgrounds and very different belief systems. He has created a world which is extremely interesting. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of violence. I can't even explain how excited I am to finally continue on and read the next 2 books in the trilogy. From what I understand, there are more standalone books from this same world, which I will also be reading, but before the month of September is over, I will be picking up The Blade Itself and rereading it. So I will keep you posted on how the First Law trilogy goes, in my opinion. That's all I have for you guys. This episode of Fanta-Sci. I am so excited that you guys were here to share this episode with me. I'm sorry that there was some negativity in this episode, but it had to be said. If you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you guys in the near future.